Well, hello, everybody. Want to give you an update on the tropics. Remember yesterday we were talking about a system, potential tropical system. We said could be a tropical storm, could be sort of a hybrid with some subtropical characteristics. Right now, it looks like it is a tropical storm, although there's still some, again, to me, more nor'easter characteristics with this than a typical tropical storm. And I'll show you what I mean. There is the system. Actually, let's go back to that, because here is the center of the system. For a tropical system, you have to have the thunderstorms near the center. We do not have that. They are way, way off to the east. So this is really probably still sort of a combination, some characteristics of a nor'easter, some characteristics of a tropical storm. But in any case, it is being labeled as a tropical storm with top winds right now of 60 miles per hour, some gusts up to 70. Going to continue to make that northeastward trek. Right now moving at a pretty quick 22 miles per hour. For a typical storm that far to the south, that is moving. When we're in the middle of the summer, they get that fast when they get up near the east coast or, northern latitudes, but not down way into the Gulf like this. So again, moving pretty rapidly. That's 195 miles south of the mouth of the Mississippi River. Pressure is down to 1,001 millibars. Once any tropical system hits land, it weakens, it falls apart. So as a result, once it comes up here through eastern South Carolina, eastern North Carolina, the winds will be down to 40 miles per hour, but with some higher gusts, and then it continues to move very rapidly at that point offshore, so that by Monday morning, it is well to the east of Hampton Roads with winds again of about 45 miles per hour. So look what happens to the winds. Tomorrow, not much wind at all. Tomorrow will be a beautiful fall day in Hampton Roads. And then as we get into the overnight, Saturday night turning into Sunday, we'll start to see the winds, nothing at all around here, gusting only in the single digits, but starting to gust into the teens down to our south. And look what happens by 8:30 in the morning as the storm gets closer. Quite breezy here, not terribly windy. Starting to get pretty windy, though, down across areas of the Outer Banks, southern Outer Banks especially. And then as the center of the storm comes up through eastern North Carolina, they get lighter winds as they're under basically almost the eye of the storm, if you will, even though it won't be a tropical system. And then on the backside, we see these very gusty conditions that will slowly but surely ease off into the Atlantic by the time we get into Sunday night and early Monday morning. Now, that was the American model. These numbers are going to be very similar, but you can see as we go into the overnight, again, Saturday night, Sunday morning, we start to see these higher wind speeds creeping up here. And how about a 52 mile per hour wind gust at Cape Hatteras? But still around here early in the morning Sunday, generally 20s, maybe up to about 30 in Edenton. And then as the storm sits near the coastline on the backside, we start to get some of those winds gusting over 40 miles per hour here locally, maybe as high as 45 in Hampton, 44 in Virginia Beach. Not too dissimilar from the storm that just came through a couple of days ago. And you can see even into the evening hours on Sunday as the storm pulls out, it'll still be very, very blustery, and then the conditions again begin to ease. So very similar numbers depending on which model we're looking at. In terms of the power outages, by the time we get into Sunday, we don't expect widespread outages, pretty similar to what we had again with the last storm. Isolated to maybe at times scattered power outages. Certainly tens of thousands have the potential to be out of power, but again, probably not really widespread. As for the rainfall amounts, again, take these with a grain of salt, because just if you look at the bands and where they set up, one computer could put it in one location, the other 10, 15, 20 miles different. So the bottom line is sort of look at it, the general picture. Lighter amounts north and west, heavier amounts south and east. Where you get under a band, you could have a couple of inches potentially. That was the European model, and these numbers are very similar. Lighter amounts, but still a really healthy, nice soaking across much of the area. The farther you get toward the state line or down into North Carolina, a couple of, if not several inches of rain, mainly Sunday. And then in terms of the tides, we're going to watch those tide levels starting to go up by Saturday night, early Sunday morning, as the winds are, again, really starting to pick up. 3.3. That's not even a nuisance flood level. Nuisance starts at 4 feet. By Sunday afternoon, up to about 4.7. Minor flooding is 4.5 to 5.5. So again, we're going to continue to watch for minor flooding, maybe in a few locations getting on the very low end of moderate, similar to what we had about a week ago. Remember when it was clear blue skies out and we had some of the high water come up? That's what we're looking like with this storm. So that's the very latest on what is now Tropical Storm Nestor. Continue to follow our 13 News Now for the very latest on this system.